So welcome back. In our list of resolutions that everybody's trying to squeeze in for the new year, one of them has got to be mental health because it seems to be a super popular topic. So Dr. Scott Krakower is here, and I have, because when we talk to somebody about mental health, we want to know that they know what they're talking about, right? So I have a list of like 4 pages of all your accreditations and all the amazing stuff that you do. The thing that stuck out to me, not only that you're with Northwell, but that you're president of the Nassau-Suffolk branch of the American Psychiatric Association. So to me, that's impressive. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
It's nice.
Thanks for the honor.
I feel like that this wouldn't even be a huge topic, right? Until COVID, because I don't think we thought about our mental health very much until we started having and seeing a lot of problems around after that time. Do you feel that way?
I kind of feel the same way.
So this surprised me that 36% of Americans say they want to improve their mental health now as a resolution. And I feel like that number's super high now. So are you seeing interest in that?
I am seeing interest. I think people really want to make changes. I think that they look back at everything they've been through and they think, geez, I want to make this year even better, more positive.
What are some of the things that, again, it seems so broad. So if I want to look at, February 1st and have better mental health, what does that even mean? Like, tell me the topics that I might reach for.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody always has these goals of something that they might want to do. Like that goal might be losing weight, or it might be eating healthier, or it might just be I want to manage finances better, or I want to do things better, or even spend more time with family. So I think everybody has their goals, and I think it's good for you to kind of set something in your head and then have a tangible timeline. Like you said, like February is a good time because it's a short term to reevaluate where you're at.
And in mental health, when I'm saying I want to be better in that, am I saying I want to be less angry? Am I saying that I want to solve my heartbreak, better, that I want to have better relationships? What are the areas that say yes, this is a resolution about mental health?
I mean, I think that that's actually an excellent question. The way I think about it is could really be anything you've brought up. Like if let's say there's a problem with a relationship and you really want to fix it, now's the time to do it because you know that could impact your own mental health.
And let's take one. How do you attack sadness if that's your issue?
That's just so tough because sadness comes on, and some people can get out of bed, they can function, they might still be dead, but they're able to do things. Other people can't even go that far. So I think it's just all person dependent, but if you are noticing those feelings, that's a good time to reach out to someone, speak to a therapist, speak about your emotional states, and try to do things that are going to get you out of your shell. It doesn't have to be a therapist, by the way. It could be really anyone in your life. It could be someone that you feel is motivational. It could be a pastor. It could be really anyone that you feel like is going to also help get you through things.
Yeah, I feel like there are those, levels of these things. We talk about anger. We talk about sadness. We can talk about love and happiness. How do I know when I can handle it with my friends and family? And how do I know when I need to turn to you and make an appointment and say, I'm not sure that I'm up for this?
I think if you're not getting where you need to get, like in other words, if you're still turning to people and then let's say you're still having this expressed emotion or you still feel sad, then I think it's time to speak to someone. And also it just never hurts anyways, just as full disclosure, to speak to someone, because sometimes you don't want to burden your problems on your family or your friends. I think it's just a catch-22. Like, do you go to them first? Do you go to your therapist if you don't have one yet? Like, how do you figure all that out and navigate it? And a lot of this also goes back to what we were saying, can be person dependent too.
So this just popped into my brain listening to you say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to find a good therapist. So if I'm sitting at home and I'm thinking, I want better mental health in the new year. And I think for me that means starting to talk to a therapist. What are the steps I take to find one?
That's actually such an interesting question too. So some people would say, okay, like one of the best steps might be going to your internist. Your internist may know a good therapist or someone for you. So a lot of times the people you don't even expect might actually be able to connect you with people. It could be a teacher that might know someone, or like we said, your doctor. It could also be some people just like finding someone that they feel reaches out to their interests. So there are certain websites like Psychology Today where you can go online. You could read read different biographies and see if this person sticks out or this someone you might want to work with. And then finally, it's just like the simple other like word of mouth referrals in the community, I think is always nice too. So it's just a combination of different things.
Don't be afraid to talk to people, and don't be afraid to have a conversation about, hey, are you, if someone brings up their therapist, you can say, hey, do you like your therapist? Is that, is that?
I think everybody's different. Some people like to keep things to themselves, and some people are more open about it. And again, it might have to do with the situation, like feeling it out and seeing how comfortable you are in that scenario.
All right.
Yeah.
So if we break these down, because we only talked about one or two things, what are the areas that are mental health that we can actually do better in?
I mean, I think what strikes me the most, which everybody's been through, is anxiety. I think we could all do better, I think, with managing a little bit of the anxiety. I think going through COVID, through all the world events, through all, day-to-day activities, I think it just brought about a lot of feelings for a lot of people of apprehension.
Okay.
And so like getting out of the house more, not being afraid to take steps to make attempts to re-socialize again with people, and not being afraid to do things that you've always wanted to do, but you're too nervous to do them. Because what happened in COVID is I think people became too comfortable, we should say, and reclusive with like some of those emotional kind of states.
Yeah.
So they're not going out and they're not making, and then when you try to do something, now you feel, oh my gosh, I'm like so overwhelmingly anxious even to meet someone.
I'm so glad you brought that up. So on top of the other things, anxiety is one of them. Right. Scott, thank you so much. I hope you'll come back and let's talk through January and February and kind of keep people greased up about keeping these New Year's resolutions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Sam.